Might have watched him yesterday for a little bit on one of these side streams. Yeah, I believe that is him and Shin from Korea. Both players getting underway. This is actually the first turn as Tomoyuki leading with Tapu Koko and I missed that Pokemon. I believe it was
There's a Neolego and Tapu Koko on the one side, and
on Shin's
Tapu
side.
Koko.
Yep, and Tomoyuki also has his own Tapu Koko as well.
Yep,
sorry,
as well as the Mudsdale.
Yep.
So, you know, Mudsdale's in a great spot here, threatening KOs onto both Pokemon. Neolego definitely threatens, you know, damage onto the Tapu Koko, but then you put it at risk to the Mudsdale. So, you know, there's definitely some matchups on both sides, but still in favor of Shin, I would say, thanks to the Mudsdale.
And here we go. Tapu Koko is now going to retreat back to Shin's bench, and it looks like Kartana is going to take the field here, as Nihilego is also going to be switching out here. It is going to be the Saland's going to come in, going to drop an Intimidate on both Kartana and Mudsdale. Very strong Intimidate right there to weaken the amount of damage that Mudsdale and Kartana are going to be able to do. Here we go. Tapu Koko is going to protect itself, not going to want to take any damage from this Mudsdale here, as the Mudsdale just hits into that Salamence slot.
Yep, so Salamence is a great switch in here, especially against the Mudsdale. Not only are you immune to high horsepower, but you provide Intimidate on it, and then the Kartana coming in, Salamence actually getting the Intimidate off on it, and threatening it with a potential fire move like a Flamethrower on this upcoming turn. So really good spot there for Salamence. However, Tapu Koko still not really in a good spot against the Mudsdale, even after the Intimidate, so you probably do want to get Tapu Koko out of there as well.
Yeah, and I believe Shin is actually the Korean national champion. I believe he is.
Yep, and he's 3-1, so he's certainly, you know, on pace to, you know, make it to the top cut here today. He's got a good record here. He is up 1 game, so we'll see if he can take this game and advance to 4-1.
Yep, and here we go. That Tapu Koko is switching out here. Going to go into Metagross, possibly going for that Bulldoze combo that we've seen so much. Kartana on the other side, on Shin's side, going to go ahead and retreat as well. Going to switch into Tapu Koko. Could possibly be taking a Bulldoze here, as it looks like Salamence instead just goes straight for a Flamethrower into that Tapu Koko slot. Instead of wanting to slow things down a little bit, just wanting to go ahead. Ooh, it looks like Mudsdale's going to toss a Toxic over towards that Salamence slot right there. Going to badly poison it, but again, just really wanting to get that Kartana off the field.
Yeah, seeing how dangerous Salamence is to both Mudsdale and Kartana, choosing to go for a Toxic there is definitely smart, especially since you're expecting Tapu Koko to switch out as well. You don't know what's coming in. It could have been something like a Buzzwole, which would have taken no damage from a, you know, -1 attack Mudsdale high horsepower, but instead Metagross comes in. That's still, you don't want to high horsepower that slot because it's got the weakness policy, and you just end up powering it up, and that's also why Salamence didn't want to go for the Bulldoze there, instead Flamethrowering that Kartana slot. Even if it does switch out, you get a little bit of damage off, but you don't want to Bulldoze your Metagross considering you're expecting Mudsdale to high horsepower that slot and trigger your weakness policy for you.
That is also very true. Probably trying to bait that weakness policy to activate, but instead, now that Salamence is badly poisoned, really putting a timer on it. Obviously, these players know a little bit more information than we do because they're already jumped into game 2. Here we go. It looks like the turn is about to start, and the Tapu Koko is going to go for a Volt Switch into that Salamence slot here. Going to go ahead and switch back out. Shin can try to readjust his board position.
Yeah, I'm curious if Kartana comes in here because I think that Salamence going for a Flamethrower in that slot would definitely be a good play. But we do see instead it is going to be the Arcanine.
Yep, and instead Arcanine is going to use its Intimidate ability. Salamence actually now they opt for more, really more special sets anyway, so that's most likely going to be irrelevant. And here we go. It looks like a Draco Meteor is going to connect onto that Mudsdale. Going to try to hit it on its less bulky side. It is going to be the special... it is going to be less especially bulky depending on if it's carrying the Assault Vest, but it can't since it's carrying the Toxic. We do see the Stamina give it a big defense boost, and there is a Hammer Arm connecting from that Metagross onto that Arcanine.
Yep, clearly expecting Tapu Koko to switch out there. And this should trigger the weakness policy, so great turn there for Tomoyuki, getting a lot of damage onto Mudsdale with that Draco Meteor, as well as getting his Metagross set up. And then Arcanine getting a lot of damage done with Hammer Arm, expecting Tapu Koko to switch out to either Arcanine or Kartana. Hammer Arm's going to be good against both of them, so right now, a really good spot here for Tomoyuki.
Yeah, but that Metagross is pretty threatened. I believe Arcanine should be able to get the KO with a Flare Blitz if it is one of those physical sets, so that Metagross, although it is boosted and ready to go, of course it is now threatened, but of course Salamence has access to Bulldoze.
Yep, so you could certainly see Metagross protect and Salamence go for a Bulldoze, or Salamence just decide to switch out with Metagross protecting if it doesn't want that Toxic to continue ticking down. but it also really depends on how Metagross is trained. Some people you will actually see train their Metagross to be extremely fast, faster than your more bulkier Arcanine sets. I don't know if Tomoyuki's is going to be trained to be that fast, but if it is, perhaps he just stays in and goes for an attack, but considering he's shown Hammer Arm, he's probably not going to be trained to be very fast, and you'd think Salamence is going to switch out here to Neolego.
Salamence switching out, but Shin reacting to that switch right there. Nihilego coming back in. Perhaps now it looks like this Nihilego may get KO'd by a high horsepower from the Mudsdale. Arcanine goes for an attack into that Metagross, most likely that Flare Blitz, and here it is, the high horsepower connecting onto that Nihilego, picks up the one-hit KO. Great call right there from Shin.
Yeah, really good play there by Shin because, Salamence switching out there to Neolego was definitely a very likely possibility. Bulldoze isn't really going to help Metagross outspeed the Arcanine considering it's already dropped its speed with Hammer Arm. So you have to imagine it's going to switch out to something that not only can outspeed Arcanine but threaten a KO. That Pokemon is Neolego, which he's already seen. So Mudsdale going for a high horsepower in that slot is very risk-free because even if Salamence stays in, it's going to take a lot of toxic damage. Whatever attack it goes for isn't going to really do a whole lot. Bulldoze won't make Metagross faster than Arcanine. Draco Meteor, it's already lowered its special attack. So really, going for that play was extremely safe. So great play there by Shin.
Tapu Koko switching in here, most likely trying to deal with that Arcanine before it can pick up the KO on that Metagross here. Of course, Tapu Koko is boosted by that Electric Train and can easily go for a Thunderbolt. We don't know what item it's holding just yet, though. Yeah, depending on what item it has, it can pick up the knockout onto Arcanine, while Metagross can threaten the KO onto Mudsdale, even through the stamina boost thanks to the weakness policy. So I think if I'm Tomoyuki, just make the safe play, target that Arcanine slot with your Tapu Koko, target the Mudsdale slot with your Metagross. Yep, and here we go. The Arcanine is going to protect itself. Shin right now hoping that that Mudsdale can hang on. Tapu Koko now going to go ahead and go for the Gigavolt Havoc here. Gonna bypass that protect and do some damage to that Arcanine. Just gonna be a little bit of chip damage because of the way Z moves work through protect. And here it is, that Gigavolt Havoc coming out. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much this does. Is it enough to put Arcanine into Bury healing range, or is it gonna leave it just above that mark? It looks like it's just above that mark, so Arcanine cannot proc its Bury. Oh, a miss!
Zen Headbutt just missed.
Yep, and Zen Headbutt is an inaccurate move, and that is going to cost Tomoyuki his Metagross. So one of the downsides to Metagross, its best moves are not the most accurate.
Yeah, none of Meteor Mash, Zen Headbutt, or Hammer Arm are 100% accurate, so that's always the risk in using Metagross, and not a good time for Tomoyuki to miss that attack, because instead of picking up the knockout onto Mudsdale, instead he just loses his Metagross, and he's already down 1-0, so not a good turn there for Tomoyuki.
Yeah, on the bright side of things, Tomoyuki does get a send in Salamence. We know that the Salamence Draco Meteor is going to be pretty close to being able to KO the Mudsdale, but of course, you also lower your special attack stat.
Yeah, another bright thing, though, I only just noticed this, but Tomoyuki looks like he's 4-0 and he's paired down, so even if he loses, he's still 4-1, so he's in, a different position that Shin is in. He can actually afford another loss, and he'll even still be in the same spot that Shin is in, so he only needs to win one more game out of this match and then 2 remaining matches, so even though this match looks like Shin is probably going to take this home, he's up 4-2, he's in a great spot. Tomoyuki's still in a very good spot to try and make it to the top cut.
Yeah, the way that Swiss tournaments work, if it's an uneven number of players, sometimes the numbers don't work out. Some players will get paired down. Like if you're 4-0, like for example, right now Tomoyuki got paired down and is facing off against Shin, who is currently 3-1. Sometimes that works in some players' favors, sometimes it doesn't. If you're based on resistance, you kind of want to be paired up. That kind of helps your resistance. Mudsdale here going to switch out. Mudsdale is going to be replaced by the Tapu Koko, of course. Going to go ahead and activate that Electric Terrain again, but we'll definitely be able to take that Draco Meteor a lot better. Here we go. Tapu Koko over. Nope. It looks like Arcanine is just going to try to beat up on that Tapu Koko over on Tomoyuki's side with an Extreme Speed, but ooh, all right. Tomoyuki's Tapu Koko here going for a Thunderbolt instead into the Tapu Koko over on Shin's side, and here we go, a Draco Meteor from that Salamence hitting into that Arcanine slot, so the Draco Meteor does come out instead and gets the KO on Arcanine.
Yeah, so interesting turn there by Tomoyuki, clearly trying to make some predictions, try and bring this game back, but with Salamence already having Toxic afflicted onto it, with Mudsdale in a really good spot against Tapu Koko, and now this -2 special attack Salamence. And Kartana still in the back. It's going to be really tough for Tomoyuki to pull this out.
Yep, Kartana now going to take the field. It does not have any Intimidates on it, so here we go, Ray. 3 Pokemon left on Shin's side, 2 Pokemon left. Salamence is slowly getting whittled away.
Yeah, what was big about that extreme speed the turn before onto the Tapu Koko is it looks like it's going to be very close at putting Tapu Koko into Leaf Blade KO range from this Kartana, depending on how the Kartana is trained. If it's got a lot of attack invested into it, then it may be able to pick up the knockout with a Leaf Blade if this Tapu Koko isn't very bulky.
Yep, and here we go. Tomoyuki's Tapu Koko here. It's going to protect itself, and now the Kartana over on Shin's side going to go ahead and detect. Going to also not want to take damage at all. Tapu Koko over on Shin's side goes for a powerful Thunderbolt boosted by that electric terrain. Going to hit that Salamence slot, and Salamence goes for a Flamethrower into the Kartana slot. So right there, Shin calling it, protecting his Kartana for this moment right here.
Yeah, great play. The only way Tomoyuki can even get back in the game is getting an attack off onto Kartana, predicting a Leaf Blade into your Tapu Koko slot while you protect. But really, there's no harm in protecting with your Kartana because Salamence slowly getting whittled down. There's absolutely no threat to your Tapu Koko right now. The Z move is already used by Tomoyuki's Tapu Koko, and Salamence just can't do a lot of damage to Tapu Kokos, especially after the Draco Meteor special attack drop. So,
oh, here we go. The Thunderbolt connects onto Kartana. Kartana hangs on, and now the well, it looks like it's just going to be a Volt Switch from the Tapu Koko on Shin's side. It doesn't matter. It's going to be able to get the KO, and I believe this Leaf Blade should be able to get the KO as well. Shin does get to move switch and try to make a move just to maybe secure his position just a little bit better, but it looks like Tomoyuki has run out of gas. Now here it comes, the Leaf Blade from from Kartana gets that Tapu Koko and gets the KO, and Shin Junghon of Korea moves to 4-1, dropping Tomoyuki